try to get the tweet in before we see each other, and I didn't get it in.
You got
but
the
now
link.
It's in.
You got the link out.
Yeah, we're good. I mean, here's the two problems today. One laggy, two echo. So we should be good. We should be all right. You can hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yes. I can also hear myself again.
Oh,
so
crap.
That's all right. I'm a trained professional. I can handle
the feeling of golf seems to be coming back. Okay. And NFL season, tour championship, where a lot of people are checked out, but there's something about Bermuda and Butterfield. I can just tell, I can feel it, that I feel like people are, you get a little disenchanted with NFL and you want a new sport again. And I feel golf is now resurrected a little bit. Do you feel that a little bit? I mean, you're always in the game, but we're into other sports too.
I'll say three things. Number one, if you root for college
football, you can
football,
say two, max two.
Okay. So 1A, I'm going to say if you root for a college team and your team's out, you might be looking for other sources of entertainment. Yep. 1B, same thing in the NFL. And then number two, I'll say, is that people realize that there's basically 3 golf events left. And only 2 of them are really great from a DFS or, manageable from a DFS scenario. I mean, this is the penultimate event of the year. This is it. There's next week I'll be in Sea Island, and then you get Tiger at the Hero, but that's like a 20-man event. That's not what your guys want. That's not what the Discord wants.
Sea Island's RSM.
Yeah.
That's a significant event. That's an event that players love. They love going back there.
Well, you get a pretty good field because the mafia down there shows up, usually 8 or 9 guys from Sea Island, which are, your Kazire, Harmon, you get that crew, JT, Poston, you get Kashmir Keith, you're going to get, all those guys that live there, they're going to play. And why wouldn't they, and there's a sense of urgency too. I mean, if you look at it, if you look at the guys that are ranked 51 through 70, 12 of those guys are there this week at Bermuda. And then of the guys ranked 115 to 135, 19 of the 20 are there. And the one that's not is Matt Wallace. And he's already got his tour card because he won. Right. So everyone that needs to be there, everyone that's in Bermuda is there for one of 3 reasons. 1, signature status. 2, top 125, or 3, they're milking the heck out of the rest of their tour card that they have left and hoping for a miracle.
We have seen,
which is entertaining.
We've seen over the years, triple digit winners here. You had Brian Gay.
Yeah.
Back in 2019. God, it was so long ago. I remember when he got his card again, because his caddy is my friend, or his former caddy is my friend, or his extra caddy is my friend. He lives in Lexington, and he always talked to me about how good of a putter Brian Gay was, and he always talked to me about how I don't think he's ready for Champions Tour because I believe he believes he can still compete on tour because his putter was so good. And someone, I think maybe it was Kip Henley or someone said, listen, if you don't think Brian Gay was the best putter, perhaps one of the best ever, I mean, the guy hit it so short, but still managed to compete on tour. My longer point is that this tournament produces some long-range winners. Do you find?
I mean, it produces 2 types of tournaments. We've had a couple of relative favorites or middle of the pack guys, and we've had a couple of long shots. We've also had a couple at 24 under par, and then we've got weeks like we've got what's coming, which is going to be weather affected, and the winner will probably be 14 or 15.
Brian Gay blast from the past. Villegas last year, blast from the past.
Yep. Brendan Todd, blast from the past.
Yes.
He won the first one.
I'm aware of this. My connection is bad. Yeah. And I'm just hoping it resurrects itself between now and the end of the show, because I'm looking at the wireless level. It keeps dropping. So it's going to be in and out.
I mean, what are they downloading in your office right now?
I don't know.
Whoever's on, I don't know what site. Just tell them to stop.
Hang on, I'm going to yell at everyone. Sorry.
It's like that scene in Billions when they're yelling.
They all went
at each
like
other.
this.
Yeah. Number one in their heart. Yeah.
No, but what is okay? First of all, you tell me about this tournament in terms of what it means to players potentially if they do well for their tour status going into next year.
Oh, I mean, this is a legit chance to win. You've got one guy in the top 50 in the world in this tournament and 13 in the top 100. I mean, if you are a run-of-the-mill tour pro that sits usually in the points over 100, you have a legit chance to contend in this thing. It's a short golf course.
Very.
You know, like you have to be a good Bermuda putter, which most of these guys are because they spend a lot of time down south, whether it be Florida or, you know, Texas or something like that. And, you know, like there's all the opportunity in the world. And there's three things you get: 2 years on tour. You get to go to the Masters, which is a lifelong dream of any tour player, right? And, you know, you're basically set up for, you know, for I don't know, the next 3 to 5 years. Because even after those 2 years, you could still pull like what Wes Bryan is playing this year under, which is a former PGA Tour winner, and you get a lot of exemptions that year. You know, like there are ways, career money list, all those types of things. Like this is a good opportunity because you're never going to get, you know, like even a Zozo field here. You know, there's just one guy in the top 50.
Who is?
Lucas Glover.
Lucas Glover.
I mean, these fall events, everyone keeps talking about whether or not they deserve a Masters invite. When you think about it, right, the average winner of the 6 fall events so far coming into that week is ranked 147th in the world. And over the 6 events, we're averaging about 4 guys ranked in the top 50 in the world in these fields. And these guys are getting a Masters invite, and they're getting 2 years on tour. It's a pretty good deal, man. If I needed it, I'd be there all 8 weeks. And he froze. Oh, here we go. We have multiple windows open.
How's that? Is that better?
Ooh, yeah, that's actually better. Yeah.
I tethered to my phone because 5G wireless is a million times better than any sort of internet office wireless. So God bless 5G. So let's roll. I have no concerns now. We're going to fly through this.
There's nothing prior.
You know what? There have been times we've done this show and you've pixelated and lagged, and I just sit here and sweat my ass off. But it's always me. It's always my connection.
Which is funny because I'm like usually on the road somewhere in a tent, you know, like.
We've had some stressful times with the internet when you're on the road with the tent. It's been good, though. We've gotten through it.
We've gotten through it. We've had, you know, knock on wood, we've had a good year. We've had a great year. Yeah.
So the course is short, like you said, 71 sub 7,000. Variety of type of winners here. Herbert, Sandbelt player, long hitter.
Super putter, short game. Herbert was super short game putter. Brian Gay, super short game putter. Right. Herbert is kind of long, but like he would be more of, he's a guy that like on tough golf courses always makes the cut because he can putt and chip so well. He saves par a lot. Brendan Todd, great putter. You know, like there's a common theme here. You got to get on these Bermuda grass greens and you have to make putts, especially inside 10 feet because they're super grainy and they're super undulating because let's face it. What is Bermuda? Bermuda is the top of a mountain. It's the rim of a volcano, right? It's all uneven lies, and then it's wind exposed. The first 5 holes are somewhat, if you want to call it, protected, but 6 through 18, I mean, you're out there. It's going to blow 30. Good luck, you know? And you're going up and down. You're hitting wedges into holes from 50 feet above the green. Okay, let me know how that goes when you just toss it up in the wind.
So, and I'm looking at Mike Miller's sheets right now because he does some fantastic stuff at Smart Golf Info. But Mackenzie Hughes probably leading favorite right now in the odds market. like to me, Mackenzie Hughes, you talk about short game and putting. Okay.
Yep.
Not many guys on tour are as good as him in both together.
Oof. Very good.
Very good. But is Mackenzie Hughes a guy that can walk in top price, shortest price, and just win a tournament like this with the flukiness of winners in the past? I mean, because how many birdies are you going to make this week in relatively good conditions? How many? 30?
Oh, no, hang on. Yeah, like high 20s in good conditions. Yeah, for sure. High 20s for sure. Yeah.
So is that your mindset right now? Like a Mackenzie Hughes, best short game probably in the field, best putting combo in the field. Can he walk in this tournament and just do it?
Well, he hadn't played in like a month, went to Procore, finished 4th.
Yeah.
And the week after the President's Cup, finished 8th at Sanderson. We haven't seen him in a month. I mean, both of his career wins are in the fall. He would be someone I would be paying attention to. What scares me about Mackenzie is if it really starts blowing, that he'll save a ton of pars with his putting, but I don't know how much he can like get ahead of the field because his driver is going to be all over the place. And his iron game is like, you know. I mean, he was all set to win that thing up in Canada at Hamilton Golf and Country Club. And that's a good comp course for this without the wind, right? Super up and down, you got to hit the fairway to be able to attack the greens, not long, whatever. And then on Sunday, his approach game went where it normally is, which is in the toilet. And then other people that could just hit irons better, like Ben Griffin, like Robert McIntyre that day. But Ben Griffin, one person in particular, the guy finishes runner up. So like that's the concern with Mac Hughes that you don't get with like Seamus Power at the top. Like Seamus is going to hit those wedges close in the wind or not in the wind or whatever. He's going to do it. Now, will Mac out putt him? Sure, but is Mac putting for par? Or is he putting for birdie? Seamus is going to hit more greens.
Yeah, Seamus Power tore up Keen Trace here in Kentucky when he was here.
Yeah,
this was before he really a lot of people knew a lot about him. And he was super impressive. I mean, he can make a ton of birdies, and it made sense as to why he won.
Yeah.
The other thing with winners here is that they've never missed a cut here. I know this is relatively recent history with this course.
Yeah.
2019. But the people who play here, if you're a course truther, you like this. You like this course.
Well, Herbert never played there before he won. And obviously Todd, no, because it was the first year of the event, but so we won't count him. But
Power did.
Yeah, Power for sure, Vijegas for sure, and Gay for sure. Had all played.
Yeah.
Your 5G is down
Lagging.
to 4G. Yeah.
Oh man, no, we're good. We're good.
All right. Technically, the tournament favorite on the betting board right now is either Maverick McNeely or Seamus Power. Mac Hughes has dropped to 20. And he sits there with Gim, Griffin. That's your top 5 on the betting board.
Okay, then let's get into it then. Let me look at my board of favorites. I've talked about Hughes.
I really want approach players and putters this week. That's what I really, really want.
Understood.
That. You drive. Go ahead.
Understood. I don't know if I want to go down this low, but we can yet. But am I insane for thinking Wesley Bryan has a shot this week?
Oh, I'm all over Wesley Bryan.
Why?
I put him on your radar last week. He was a 6K guy in that Mexico field, and he finished T6. So if any of the boys in the Discord put him in there, they were happy, right? And he's a much better fit for this than he is out there in Mexico for that golf course because he's not super long and, the driver can be iffy, but the guy's he's a wedge wizard. I mean, it's just straight sorcery. And he can score. He won at Harbor Town. He can play in the wind. He's good on Bermuda grass. The guy was, he's born in South Carolina. I mean, that's all Bermuda grass. Like, that's like the worst. That's like the dirty South. And so I think that, Wes Bryant's number on Monday at the odds drop was 70, and now he's down to 50. So we're not the only ones thinking this. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for all the right reasons.
The other name I thought about and I don't want to chase, and if I pop in and out, that's just the reality of the show, and I'm just going to have to deal with it and move on. I will say, as part of this stage of life I'm in, it's on me. It is my fault, and I'm sorry.
I like that. You're taking accountability.
Take accountability. It's the new me.
Yeah.
Versus shifting blame to you. Patrick Rogers. How often do I keep? How much more should I chase Patrick Rogers?
Ooh.
Incredible. Two top fives here.
What do you want him to do? Do you want him to win? Then don't chase. If you want him to make the cut and be, I mean, how expensive is he? Off the top of my head, I wasn't really interested. He's 9,500. Oh man,
Two top fives back to back.
Yeah,
decent form.
I mean, why not take Justin Lauer at 9,500?
I love Justin Lauer.
Right. I mean, I guess the ownership will be there on him because he was runner up last week. But how about Sam Stevens at 9,200? Like, there's two options right there. Matty Schmidt at 9,100.
Good form here.
Although Matty Schmidt might with the wind and everything, I don't know. But like, I mean, there's like four guys right there. Two who I'm really high on, which is Putnam and Berger, right? And they're down there at the low 9, high 8s. Right. Putnam is second in the field in approach, and he's a top 10 Bermuda grass putter in the field. Like, this is his style of golf course. Positional, like Wailea. It's going to be windy. He's just going to keep hitting greens, and he's going to keep making putts. And then he'll be in the top 20. And if he has a good week, then he'll win or be top 5 or top 3 or something like that. You
said Berger. He's not letting off the gas. A 7th, two top 40s. And the top 20 last week. Okay, so he's not regressing.
Yeah, because
this is a tournament
Berger's got problems. He's 128. No, hang on. He's 124 on the points list. He's got to play.
He's got to play, but also
play good. I mean, he's got to play. He's got to flat out play.
At the best part of their careers, Daniel Berger does not belong in a field in Bermuda in November. Daniel Berger is one of the top talents on, a top talent on tour and a fucking dog.
He's a Ryder Cupper.
He's a Ryder Cupper.
That's his level of golf, right?
Yes.
He is an international team member. The guy is a perfect fit for this because he hits low fades with his wedges and his driver. He can fit it anywhere. I don't care if it's blowing 50. That guy can play golf. And he will grind because he knows where he stands on the points board. I think he has a very legit chance based upon the way that he's been trending to contend this week, for sure.
That's my question from you as a golf pro, a teacher and a pro.
Yeah.
Is that, can most guys flight the ball like that? Or is it just an element of their swing and something they work on, like a Berger?
Like a 25% to a third can really flight it well. And those are the people you see in signature events. A lot of these guys can't do it to the level that the best in the world can do it. Now, Berger was at that level. What throws people off all the time when I meet up with somebody, whether they're through the internet or whoever, and they're like, hey, I want to meet you up at the golf tournament, whatever. When they go to a golf tournament for the first time, they can't believe how high the players hit their long irons and their woods and how low they hit their wedges. Right. And Daniel Berger is used to hitting it low all the time. So you throw him out in the wind and he is going to be really, really good because he's comfortable with that ball flight all the time. He plays that ball flight all the time. And when you think about where Daniel Berger has won, where has he won? Well, he's won out by you in Memphis. That is some of the grainiest, nappiest stuff that is out there to putt on, right? And it's a positional golf course, much like we're dealing with this week, just shorter. And then where else did he win? He won the Honda, right? So that's windy. That's trouble everywhere. And again, Bermuda grass. So Bermuda Berger, Bermuda Burns, this guy, he's pretty comfortable in this situation and he's been playing better and better and better. So will he win this week? I like to think he could, right? But more, way more so than Mav McNeely or somebody, right? That hasn't done it, but because he hasn't done it before. And it's going to be wild out there. It's going to blow 30 on the first day, right? And then it's going to lay down a little bit in the afternoon. It's going to lay down a little bit Friday morning. And then Friday night, we get an inch and a half of rain into Saturday morning. And then the golf course is going to play totally different on Saturday. It's still going to be blowing 20. And these guys are going to have to be able to adapt and try to figure all this out. Daniel Berger is a really good golfer in this field. It's like a couple weeks ago or a month ago, we were talking about Harris English. We're like, how many guys in this field have 4 wins?
Yeah.
And then somebody in the comments was like, oh, Matt Kuchar has like 7. I was like, exactly. Like these are the types of guys, right? That like, if you're going into this thing that you should be paying attention to, like because they can win, and
what's the win profile your AutoZone sponsored dual Doppler? You fired it up this week. What does the wind profile look? You said Thursday AM is blowing and Thursday afternoon is better or
slightly better. They're both in the high 20s with gusts in the 30s, and they're coming out of like the northwest and the west.
Where's the relief then? Any relief for Thursday, Friday?
If there's any relief, it's definitely PM AM. As of when I always look like at a quarter of the show, right? So at like 2:45 I look. And speaking of which, timing wise, everyone, PSA, Bermuda is 1 hour ahead of us, so they're going to start 1 hour early. Lineups will lock at a different time.
I've actually contacted Bermuda, and they're going to start 1 hour on time.
No, they're going to start an hour early.
Okay.
You tried to contact them, but your internet didn't work. So they're going to start when they want to start, which is an hour ahead of us, and you have to pay attention to that. So just a quick PSA. But, overall, the whole back 9 is on the western side of the island. I mean, they're getting the full brunt of the wind. So when they make the turn to go west on hole 7 and they go out towards the water for 7, 8, and 9, and then when they go back out to the water again for like 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, right? Like that is where they're going to get battered the most. That 16th hole is going to be wild. They have to play it up. It's 235 yards. The left boundary is the Atlantic Ocean or North Carolina's Outer Banks, and then the right boundary is the side of a hill. So, it's gonna be pretty good. I mean, what did Vegas set the number at? Minus 13.5 for the over/under for the tournament for the scoring for the week.
That's crazy for a tournament like this.
And last week was 24 under, or last year Vegas was 24 under. So it's gonna be wind affected.
I mean, it's gonna blow on the weekend too.
Yeah, and I would, and because of that, I would be paying attention to some people that could scramble too.
The only relief is Friday morning.
Yes. Yeah, there's really no relief on Thursday. Friday morning, which is why I'm going PM AM with the majority of what I'm trying to do.
At best.
Yeah.
The
only guy I'm really high on that's AM PM is Ben Griffin, but he's very good in the wind.
So. Yeah. Antonio mentioned Laird's a name I'd keep in the pool this week.
What's Laird been doing lately? I haven't done anything with him this fall.
Laird has not done a lot lately, and I may retract that statement. I thought he had a better form here.
Oh, geez.
All right, here's the other one that I know you'll like, is Vince Whaley.
Oh, yeah.
Resort
good putter,
golfer.
too.
Huh?
Good putter, good history there. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah. Vince is good. I think somebody like who's in really good form like Carson Young is good to play because he's very accurate off the tee. He's good on tight golf courses. I think Jacob Bridgman is very good. He's a good iron player, very good putter. You have to have guys that can survive this week. It's gonna get a little dicey out there, and I think that you've got to lean into some of those guys. That's one of the reasons why I like Wes Bryan. Say what you want, but
Wes Bryan reminds me of a Daniel Berger type.
Oh, he's definitely one of those guys that's like he like out on tour. Everybody loves him on YouTube and everything, but he's a pro, man. Like he is serious about winning at golf. And it's not fun. It's like Berger, like he's looking over and he's like, where'd you take that drop? Like he's gonna check on you. Like he's not just letting things go. Those guys, like, everyone thinks like, oh, everything out there is just like, woohoo, it's like, well, rainbows and pixie dust and stuff like that. And like, hey, everyone loves Rory and this stuff. Like, no, like those guys are very serious about the rules of golf. And Brian would be one of those guys, the complete opposite of his YouTube persona. I saw it at the Creator Classic when all of a sudden, he's like, oh yeah, I can qualify to get in the final hole. And in the final hole, he didn't say a word. All of a sudden I was like, whoa, I could win this thing, and I'm a tour player. I should probably. So,
why would we not remain on Echeverria, who almost won back-to-back last week?
Yeah, it's
right?
Crazy. Yeah. I'm playing a prop pool with him this week because
what's the prop?
Low South American. You can get plus 150 on him on FanDuel, which is probably the same thing on DraftKings. Sorry, you can edit that later. But he's only.
I don't know that sportsbook you just mentioned. I wasn't aware of it.
No, it's an acronym for something that's not important. But he's only got to beat like Johnny Vegas, and he's been so good. He won and then he was sixth. He's been really good. So I'll take 1.5 to 1 on a prop like that. And he's got to beat basically one other guy. The other guys from South America are like Villegas and Toasty. Toasty's been toast all fall. So it's a thought. I also like Matty Schmid for Continental Europe.
I do. He missed the cut. That may be enough for a flop leg, but he had a good history here, and he had 2 top 5s prior to that.
Yeah. I mean, the only guy he's really going against in Continental Europe is Norlander, who gives me pause. So he's going to get, it's like basically a head-to-head, him and Norlander for plus 150, the way I look at it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like Francisco Molinari. He's got Paul Barjan we're going against, God,
Francisco Molinari.
Come on.
Mid-6 is Francisco Molinari. Is the career toast?
I got better guys in the mid-6s than Francisco
no doubt.
Molinari. Yeah.
All right, so we covered the top tier. You're fading McNeely. Hughes makes a ton of sense. So does Power. I think you could take risk on those two.
Yeah. This is
don't
interesting pricing too. Like, there's so many guys like in that 25 to like 35 range on the betting board, and it's like if these guys were all
Lauer, Stevens, Schmid, Echeverria, Kevin Yu, he won recently. Nick Taylor, I mean, wind player Nick Taylor, he won at Pebble Beach.
I mean, Nick Taylor, if he was good, would be like if he was his normal Nick Taylor, would be he's like a Daniel Berger, man. He keeps the ball in play and he can score. He's a
dog.
Pro. Yeah. But you also got Bridgman, Echeverria, you get Carson Young, Johnny Vegas, Rico Hoey, all these names of everyone all fall that we've been, minimally roller coastering on. Maybe we get off Hoey for a little bit for a week, but then we're back on him again. Like these guys
I think we need a Hoey break.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I'm just saying Alex Smalley's in this range, like Grayson Sigg, has had some really nice form. Nick Hardy is hitting the ball unbelievable. Nick Hardy might be a good choice this week in some lineups because no one's going to be playing that guy. And he's been hitting the ball really good all fall. So people are going to be tested, man. That ball goes up in the wind and you can't control your spin.
A former pro who was he was a Sandbelt player, tour winner, incredible tight lie chipper. He played with Grayson Sigg on the Korn Ferry Tour, and he said, "Just watch out for this guy." I think he sort of emulated this guy's game a little bit, and if that's the case, he's got to have a good short game, doesn't he?
He doesn't putt very well, generally speaking, unless he's on Bermuda grass. That's Sigg. He's a Georgia boy. He holds the course record at Seaside. It's 58. He shot 12 under there. So next week he's in good form. He's definitely mark that down in your notes. He holds the course record at Seaside at 58. So
he's got 2 top 20s, well, top 11th and a 23rd and the 4th of the Pro Core. And exactly the same here, a 22nd and 11th in 2022. So he has familiarity with the course.
Yeah.
And typically these lineups are going to be built around at least 2 players in the 7s. Or a couple of players in the 7s. Not at least. But Sigg is one to keep an eye on. And Wes Bryan.
I think Wes Bryan will be popular. I think from a leverage standpoint, somebody like a Sigg offers you some options.
And Vince Whaley, resort course player only.
Vince Whaley is generally pretty good here. I've played him many times before in placement bets, and he's done very well. You're also like there's also a theory some people have. They say when it, like Keith, when it really blows, does that mean that we can like we don't need better putters like in a Joel Damon because he hits it so good? Will his ceiling go up because he has the ability to hit more greens and control his ball and keep it in the fairway and everything. But even though he's not a good putter, like, will the field come back to him? And I feel the opposite about that. I think you're going to need to rely on your putting. I would favor the Mac Hughes end of that spectrum versus the Joel end. I mean, Joel loses like 4 strokes a week on putting. I just don't see how that is a recipe for success.
No.
So.
Oh no. My internet is so dead.
You're good. You're there.
I'm back.
We have you.
I'm back. Do I keep chasing Brendan Todd? Yes or no? Yes.
No.
Okay. We both agree. Yes. I had one more name. Riddle me this.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to the deep numbers on DraftKings. Michael Kim, self-proclaimed best iron player on tour. Very good putter.
Yep.
Explain his form here with 3 missed cuts in a row.
This golf course is about Brian Gay, not Michael Kim.
Okay. That's all you need to say.
I mean, if you can't, Lucas Herbert, Brian Gay, Brendan Todd, the guys that play good here, they don't have a lot in common with Michael Kim. Michael Kim was hitting it in the lava when the fairways were 40 yards wide out at the Black Desert Championship, right? Like, this is a 6,800-yard golf course. This is the length golf course that I play. I mean, and that's not like bragging whatsoever. It's like your general, like, 1 or 1.5 tees in from the back on any golf course. 6,800 yards is not that long, right? Especially with 3 par 5s, and you've got 3 par 3s over 200 and 2 over 230. I mean, like, that adds up. I mean, this is basically like you've got 6 par 4s under 400.
You know who win here by 40 if he played is JT Poston.
JT Poston.
Just say yes.
Okay.
I'm telling you he would. All right. You had some deep shots in the 6s and DK and just triple digit odds. Or not.
Yeah. So last week we were on Wes Bryan, T6, and Scott Piercy, and he missed the cut badly. But Piercy was good the week before. So I guess he's batting 500. It's MLB Hall of Fame. This week I'm looking at first I'm looking at Ryan McCormick, Korn Ferry Tour player, Jersey kid, 16th at the Shriners, 24th at Worldwide Technology, gaining about 6 strokes on the field total in his last 2 events. Very good ball striker and used to playing tight accuracy golf courses because he's from the Northeast.
Yep.
Right. So there's somebody, he's 66. And then the other one, and this one surprised me, but the name kept coming up in my research. And I was like, really? I was like, what am I doing here? Right. But it's not like 2014 or anything, but Brandt Snedeker was 12th at the Czech Masters, 26th at the Procore, 16th at the Sanderson the week after the President's Cup, where he was in Montreal partying all week, right? Over his last 3, look at that, 6,700. He's good in the wind, good putter, good chipper, right? Type of guy that always has been good at keeping the ball in play, tight, compact swing, not going to be really like overly affected by heavy wind. And he's gaining like over 6 strokes total against the field over his last 3 starts. So those are my 2 guys.
Is he this year's Brian Gay? Could be.
Is he this year's Camilo? Is he this year's Brendan Todd? He could be.
It's possible. He's
playing very well. Because he has got the build for what you need this week. You're not looking for long and languid. You're looking for like just hit it quick and then go find it and hit it again. It's going to be wild to watch.
Webb Simpson.
No.
Just say yes. The 2 guys I'll never quit: Webb Simpson and Brendan Todd.
Oh, man, we gotta find you. I mean, honestly, just like if you were in the Discord, like There's nothing sexy about either of those guys. At least like if you go after like if you never quit Daniel Berger, you're like, yeah, but that guy's a dog. Like he chugs beer on the first hole, he gets on the Ryder Cup, like he calls guys out for rules infractions. Like that's a type of like he puts a big chaw in, like a lipper in, and he plays golf. Like that's a guy you could get behind as a pro. Like how do you get behind Brendan Todd? Not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying like how do you get fired up about that?
He's sexy. That's why.
Stop it.
Berger did have a controversy with, not a controversy, but a row with someone about rules this past season. Did he not? Am I misremembering this? It might have been a team event. I don't know what it was. Berger was mad at someone, another star.
I don't know. He does it a lot because he calls people out. Like where a lot of guys avoid confrontation. It's not that he's looking for it, but he's not going to let things slide.
Okay.
You know, and that's the type of guy that wins in frustrating conditions, which is what we're looking at. We're looking at grainy greens where you're going to miss short putts for no reason. You're windy conditions. You're going to miss greens. You're going to miss fairways. It's going to be a pain in the neck. There might be a weather delay on Friday into Saturday. He's just going to, put another dip in and be like, yeah, tell me what my tee time is. I'll go out there and I'll make birdies.
Oh, I'll tell you exactly what it was. Maybe it was 2 years ago. It was Damon and Hovland versus Berger. Remember that? It was Hovland versus Berger.
Yeah, that was in the Players, the year they had the really wild weather.
Yes, and they went at it.
One. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they went out on the 16th hole.
That's right.
For sure. Yeah. Berger walked over and he called him out and he was like, yeah, you're not dropping it there.
Yeah.
And he was like, go get an official. And he's like, what do you and like Hovland was like, what? Don't you know who I am? And he was like, yeah, I know you are. I don't care. Like I could care less.
Let me ask you this one more question about form. We've seen these guys. What was the guy who just recently won? We'd never heard before in their life, but his form was impeccable. What's his name? Matt
McCarty?
Yeah, Matt McCarty.
Black Desert. Yeah, well, I mean, he had won 3 times on the Corn Ferry Tour.
I'm just looking. I don't care what tour it is. I don't care what it is. Yep. Form is form. Graham Robertson. You know anything about this guy from Scotland?
I do not.
Okay.
His
form recently, 10 weeks prior, win, top 5, second, and a 27th. What did he win? Tartan Pro Tour. But still,
was that the tournament at my bachelor party? I mean,
you could probably top 5.
I mean, it's the Tartan Pro. I wore a skirt.
27th at a DP World Tour event. I'm just saying, 400 to 1 if you want a cut maker. Graham Robertson.
I'm going to go with Snedeker because no one's talking about that guy.
Okay, that's fine. I like that. I don't mind that. I don't mind Snedeker. I got to find a different number 5 because I'll steal Snedeker from you. You know what? I'm going to say Robertson.
You're going to put Robertson in the snake draft?
I didn't say that.
Okay. That's going to cause me a problem. I'm going to have to find something to hold up.
I was trying to figure out one more new guy. I don't have to put Robertson in, but I might just have to do it.
Late ad. When Taylor Montgomery withdrew, Brian Gay joined the field. No, that's totally kidding, folks. Don't.
He did not really. Did he or did he not?
Montgomery withdrew, but no, Brian Gay's not in the field. No. Brian Gay's like 53 years old. Okay. I played him top 40 last year. He still cashed. It's awesome.
No, I've got a new one. For the top 5.
Oh boy.
God, Taylor Montgomery's form is just horrendous. All right. It's time for everyone's favorite segment.
Oh.
And the only question I have to ask you, Keith, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's ride the snake.
Then you shouldn't be afraid to ride the snake.
Ride the snake.
People generally hate this segment or love it. And I'm just going to lean into it because you arm wrestle them into loving it. There are multiple rules to snake draft. I'll cover the top 3. Okay. 1, no dupes. We both pick 5 golfers. Doesn't matter what range. Let's do some deep shots, whatever. Number 2, there's no mocking each other's picks, which I'm playing honesty hour. I was honest about the internet being my fault. You need to be honest about you mocking my picks.
Yeah.
You can also say you're sorry.
I'm already laughing. I'm already laughing. I gotta get. Hang on. I gotta move my mouse. There we go. I'm ready.
There you go. Camera goes off when you mock picks. There you go. That's good.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Third is no provisionals.
What? No Caitlin
no
Clark.
No provisionals.
No Caitlin Clark breakfast balls. What?
No, there's no one. If you're a golfer withdraws, you're out of snake draft.
Could you imagine that today? Did you know that happened?
What?
Did you see what happened today?
No.
Okay, so the LPGA is in their second to last event, and they're down in Tampa, and they're making a big deal because they brought in Caitlin Clark, and the host of the event's Annika Sorenstam. And Caitlin Clark played in the Pro-Am today, the first 9 with Nelly and the second 9 with Annika. And when she teed off on the first hole, she hit a heel shot right into the crowd, like 20 feet in front of her, like 80 miles an hour. Go look it up. It's all over Twitter. Anyway, so by the time, like, people were still like getting up off the ground, right? And then she already had a ball out of her pocket. She was like hitting. And I was like, whoa, wait, we're getting 2 here? What are we doing? But anyway, yeah.
I'll go check that video out.
It's pretty funny.
I mean, listen, if I'm up at a tee in a crowd at a Pro-Am or something, I'm probably going to heel shot it right in someone's face. So I would just say back off.
Oh, man, the first time I hit down a shoot, I was seriously thinking about it. I was like, I could kill somebody here right now. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. Yes.
Oh,
at a Pro-Am, fans are like this.
Like, people are like, they lean in. They're like the further down they go, the more they're leaning in. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway.
All right. I'm going to flip a coin, call it in the air.
Tails never fails.
It was the queen.
I should have said, what's the other thing? The loony?
The loon. Yeah.
Oh, the loon. Looney Tunes.
I will go first. My first pick is Daniel Berger. I believe he wins.
Oh, man. All right. I get 1 and 2. I'm going to go Bermuda Ben Griffin, and then I'm going to go Daniel Bermuda Berger.
Okay. No dupes so far. I'm going to go Hughes and
right.
Justin Lauer.
Ooh. I'm going to go 3-4 here. I'm going to take your Lauer, drop the L and add a P and give you Power. Seamus variety. And then number 4, I'm going to go Andrew Putnam.
I was honest about me not being able to quit Webb Simpson and Brendan Todd.
Was that a Freudian slip?
Yes.
On Wyndham Clark?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I need you to be honest. You can't quit Andrew Putnam. Every week it's Andrew Putnam. What has he done? What has he done more than Patrick Rogers has done?
1.
Okay, that's very fair. I'll go next.
I mean, it's true.
I was 50-50 gambling. I don't think Putnam's won. I'm going to go with it.
He won the Barracuda.
No, he didn't. That doesn't count as a win. That's Stableford.
Okay, so then when I make fun of the Lexington event every year, and you give me shit about that, right?
You can't.
Seriously. Like, you can hide all you want, but when you have a secondary event that is like your flagship event, right, over there in Lexington,
it's not
Stableford. The Barracuda.
It's not Stableford. Great pick, Keith. I like that pick.
Okay.
All right, my final 2.
Yep.
I've got to stay on Echeverria.
Okay, makes sense. Yep.
And my 5th pick, the secret one from way downtown, is Caitlin Clark.
Does she get 2 off the first tee? Because she needs it. Number 5.
No. I was going to go Graham Robertson, but I scratched it out. I'm going to go with Carl Yuan.
He's got good history there.
He does.
Yeah, he doesn't have good recent history, but he has good history there. I'm going to go Mac Hughes as number 5. That's it. Griffin, Berger, Power, Putnam, Hughes.
No. You said Griffin, Hughes, Power, Putnam, Hughes.
No, I said Griffin, Berger, Power, Putnam, and then I just said Hughes. You went first, so I go 2-2-1 in a snake draft. You go first, you go 1, and then you go 2-2. That's the math.
You went Griffin, Berger, Power, Putnam, Hughes. I went Berger, Hughes, Lauer, Echeverria, and Carl Yuan going deep. I'm surprised you didn't take Snedeker because I would have taken Snedeker.
I mean, this is the top 5. I mean, there are people here like Power and Hughes that I'm not betting, but I fear them this week. I think that they have a very good chance to do well. And in a DFS, when someone rolls out 1,100 different teams, unlike my betting card, which gets like 3 choices, right? To pick who will win. Like, you need some variety in your life. And I think that some of those guys will be good.
I would start every lineup. Hughes. Let me see what this does. Hughes, Berger. That leaves you 7,700 average. So you take a Snedeker.
You get Whaley in there. You can get
Whaley in there, and then you're at an 8,000 average, and then you can get your Bryans, Lowers, Caitlin Clark.
Well, Brian's down in the mid 7s. He jumped a whole 1,000 from last week's T6. But if you started the way you did, and then you go Snedeker, who's at 67, you're going to get mid 8s or low 9s the rest of the way. So you go low 9s, you can then you can dump in. That's that group where you have. Hang on, that's where you end up with Lauer, Stevens, Schmid, Putnam, Novak. They're all in that. Echeverria, they're all in that zone there. Todd, if you want to go there, 8,500.
My tan game needs work. What do you mean? Like it's too good? What is it? Where's the Ryan Gerard talk? Do you know anything about Ryan Gerard?
He went to UNC, and I was there last week. UNC.
Okay. There's the talk.
There you go.
You mentioned someone just now that I wanted to bring up. Sam Stevens.
Novak?
I let you off the hook there, but what do you like about him? He's a bomber.
He's just playing very well right now. And that's why Sam Stevens is 9,200 on your DraftKings board amongst these guys. He went to Oklahoma State. The guy's a stud. He can score. He could definitely reel back off the driver, so he'll be hitting a lot of irons off the tee, which will help him keep the ball in play, and he can attack in certain areas. But he's been playing very well lately, so that's why DraftKings and the betting boards are on him.
If this is going to be a totally different tournament, if Vegas has this as 13 total,
13.5. Yeah.
I mean, I looked at the wind under our proprietary RPS wind model, and you're right. It's 30. There's very little relief. It's 30 gusts the entire time.
And it's not like it's 30 with trees. Like, you're literally sitting on the rim of a volcano sticking out of the ocean. Like, that
affects putting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the greens are going to be slow and grainy and everything. That's why I like Berger, because he wins in Memphis in the summertime. St. Jude back when it was in June. Right? Like, he won it twice there. Like, trust me, the guys like Ben Griffin and Berger and the guys that are really good putters on Bermuda are going to be up at the top of this leaderboard this week. They are going to be, because that's the only thing that you can save your score. Everyone's going to hit bad shots, because if it's blowing 30, 35 and you're guessing, even on 8,000 square foot greens, then you got a putt from 60 feet in 35-mile-an-hour wind, forget it. Toast.
Berger's a lock. He's back this week. Bermuda Berger.
Yep.
Pretty good snake draft, minus the mocking.
Hey, I wasn't the only one that went off screen today.
Everyone in the chat today gets a coupon code for a tan from Suntan City, including RDJ.
Ooh, wow.
Yep.
I tan like a rotisserie chicken, so maybe I should look into that.
Yeah. You just get 15% of a tan.
Next week I'll be down in the Low Country for you.
What's the Low Country?
The lower southeast, the area like Hilton Head or Sea Island, where the
So you're going to be at Sea Island.
I will be at Sea Island next week. Yes.
Is it a sea or is it an island?
Well, it's an island that's next to the sea.
Who's the top talent there yet? Is the field filled yet or no?
No, it'll be Friday at 5 p.m. But
who are we thinking?
I mean, probably I would think Brian Harmon would play, and he's top 15 in the world.
Okay. But you're not getting your top 10 in the world talent.
Well, Ludwig could go back and defend. He's what, 6th in the world? I mean, if I was him, I'd go back. He shot 61 on the weekend. I was watching that. I was like, he shoots 61 on Saturday. And I'm like, that's pretty good. Mac Hughes was hunting him down. And then on Sunday, he goes out and he like pars the first 4 holes and he shoots 9 under the rest of the way. I was like, okay, this kid's pretty good. He's legit. 122 on the weekend? Come on.
Until then.
Peace.
Read the line.